Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Neo Scavenger. Continuing on with my I Am Not a Cannibal challenge, where I attempt to go through a playthrough not eating any other human beings. With that being said, we're at the end of a turn, and unfortunately we're right near a feral dog, so we're going to have to try and survive its encounter. And fortunately for me, it went away. I am going to want to come over here and start scavenging, though, so we'll move over into the town. Oh, we found another scavengeable building as well, so let's go ahead and start scavenging here. And it's now in the morning, which you'll note that it's not only brighter out, but we also have better vision. So we have an abandoned house and 2 abandoned mobile homes. So let's start with the abandoned house. Okay, not the highest loot chance, but we're going to try and loot nonetheless. Okay, we did find some items, but unfortunately we did also alert creatures to us. So let's go ahead and take a look at the inventory here. So we have another bottle that is empty. Let's go ahead and move some of our items still more around. So we're going to put that there, that there. Oh, there we go. And we'll get a bottle. I'm going to have to keep an eye on my burdened stat. Something I didn't do necessarily a great job of in the last playthrough. For example, I had a lot of small parts around, and one of the people mentioned to me that this is a good way to really weigh yourself down. Although, I mean, it doesn't seem to really affect my burden stat too much. The one thing I'm curious about, is it giving me the weight of the total? Or... I'm trying to get it so that it's just one piece. Ah, there we go. It's a little bit tricky. Okay, yeah, so these combined weigh that much. Okay, well, that is something that somebody brought up, that could be, you know, part of my problem. Ooh, we found some clean rags. That's actually quite good. So we'll pick those up. Things that we'll be looking forward to finding is a means to boil water so that we can clean dirty rags. I think we are going to craft here as well. So to craft the weapon, I'm going to grab this shard of glass, which is not in great condition, but it's all right, and it's getting to that point where we do definitely need to have some type of weapon for desperation sake. This is not going to be in great condition, though, so it's actually to the point where I'm not really even sure it's worth the bother. Yeah, because a glass shiv is usually not that durable of an item anyway, and then one that's 37%, it's just going to fall apart. So, yeah, I'm not going to bother crafting that right now. Let's just continue to scavenge here. So we're going to take a look at one of these mobile homes. Okay, we alerted presence yet again. We do have a shoe and some clothing items. So this is actually in really good condition here. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. And we're going to put one shoe on. And then we're going to take these 2 bottles. Oh, and there's a shirt here too. Now you can wear multiple layers of clothing, but you can't wear more than one jacket, for example. You can wear more than one t-shirt, though. But that was a really good find. And we found something else, too. We found a plastic bag. And the plastic bag you can use as a backpack. I am very tempted to take this hoodie with me. We are, again, going to need to make sure I keep an eye on the burden rate, though, to make sure that we aren't burdening ourselves too much. And we can take this other plastic bag with us in case one of our bags deteriorates to the point that we would want to replace it. We'll take that with us. This I might get rid of later because it's not in the best condition. But we can tear it up and use it for materials as well. So it does have some usability. Okay, let's go ahead and move on. Now, I'm really tempted to move here because we've already alerted the attention of creatures twice now. And the next action I do will be the last action I do this turn. So I think we're going to move off this space and just move on. Finding items is very important for us, but getting killed by feral dogs is not great for us. So let's go ahead and leave. And we're going to go ahead and end our turn. Well, hello. Was that a helicopter? That's the first time I've seen that. One or more creatures approach, but none have seen you yet. Will you sneak close to them or keep your distance? Well, we don't have any weapons, so let's engage from up close. You try to get as close as possible without revealing yourself. Okay, so this guy has weapons. He has this arrow. I personally would prefer to stay hidden. At this point, he doesn't see me. So at this point, we're just going to try and do a sneaky retreat and see if we can get away from this guy. Now, I don't know what that helicopter was all about. All right, we're back in here. I'm going to go ahead and scavenge again, because we have a full turn now to act. And we did alert, but that's okay. We have a bag of potato chips that is full of chips. We are going to grab the Twinkie as well. It's not really a Twinkie, but it might as well be. I don't know if I need any more bottles of plastic bottles at this point. I am going to pick this up. But this is something that I could get rid of if it comes to it. There is stacking limits. Ooh. As a matter of fact, now that I think about it, we also have our pocket here and our jacket, so we'll start using that. Unfortunately, the bag of potato chips, I can't really take with me unless I get rid of this, and then I would stuff that in the plastic bag, and then that would be pretty much all we're carrying in the plastic bag. You know what? I'm actually tempted to do that. And we'll eat the chips as we go. We're not that hungry at the moment, so I don't feel the need. We also found another plastic bag, which is in better condition than the one that, honestly, the one we're currently using, but also the one that we had as a backup. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let's move on at this point. So, I don't want to engage this guy. Let's instead just go down to the other area we can scavenge in. And we'll end our turn. Okay, there is a dog in the area, so we're going to have to be careful. What I might do is just scavenge and run. So we're going to do one scavenge. Because we still don't have... Okay, a locked storage shed we can't do anything with. We have a normal storage shed, and then we have an abandoned apartment building. We really can't do any combat right now, so I don't think it's a good idea to engage in combat. We're going to just focus on survival here. So we're going to go ahead and... This is really good for a scavenging standpoint, though, as I believe these abandoned apartment buildings are pretty good, usually. Okay, it's not that bad, but... or that good. Fortunately, we don't find anything. I don't want to waste too many actions here. I'm tempted to scavenge one more time. The problem is going up on top of this hill is going to cost me 2 action points. Which means I'd only really move 1 space. I could scavenge twice, then go on top of the hill. That would be the same. If 1 action point you can still use to go to an area that would normally cost you 2. So if we really want to be risky, that's something we can do. So I'm going to try another abandoned apartment building. And we'll confirm. We don't find anything useful. We'll do this one more time because we've already done the risk. Okay, we did find some items. So we found some more potato chips. I don't know if potato chips really stack with each other. No, they don't. So we do have a shoe for our left shoe, though. So we will no longer be barefoot. We have another t-shirt. We're going to want to make sure that we have the best condition clothing that we can. So that actually means swapping out these items. We still don't have any pants, unfortunately. And we are shivering. I can craft a weapon here now, because this broken bottle can be broken into shards of glass. Those shards of glass will be in good condition, which will allow us to craft a good condition shiv. All right, I'm going to go ahead and eat the potato chips that are in the bag. That empties the bag, and bags will deflate like that once you've emptied them. Okay, so let's go ahead and go into the crafting menu right now. And we're going to make ourselves a glass shiv so that we have a item or a weapon. So we're going to take the broken bottle. We're going to confirm. We're going to take the glass shards, and we're going to take a bit of our dirty rags to wrap around it to make a shiv. This is a 100% shiv, which is exactly what we're looking for. Then we're going to grab the shiv and we're going to put it in our free hand. We're also going to switch over to the glass shiv right now. Glass shivs are still not great weapons, but it's better than having nothing. All right, with our fractional action point, we're going to move up on top of this hill, away from those that were nearby us. And this will also give us good vision while we're up on top of the hill. All right, let's go ahead and end our turn. I was going to say there is always a chance that these guys will come after us. Okay, so this guy is barefoot. Though it looks like he may have one shoe. He's tough, but he's currently bleeding. He does have an arrowhead in his hand, so he is armed. And what we could try and do here is we could try and talk to him. Now, right now, our range is 6. So neither one of us can attack each other. Which is good, at least for us. At the moment, if we want to see if this guy will talk to us. Now, we just know he's a stranger. We don't know anything else about him. So there are some types of guys that are really pretty much not reasonable, and they will attack you regardless. But if we offer to talk and he's willing to talk, we may get out of this combat. The range that we're going to need to be at to get combat is 1 or 0. At least with the weapons that we have. So we're going to try and offer to talk, see if he will. He is clearly not willing, as he has charged me instead. This is going to make him vulnerable for a turn. We unfortunately have to wait, though, because of the attempt to talk to him. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to demand his surrender. He more than likely is going to close with us, which is going to put him in range of attacking us. So we have demanded his surrender, and he has charged at me. He is now vulnerable, though, because of that charge. When you move, there's 2 movement types. There's usually a normal movement, like, for example, fall back, where you're going to move 1 space, or you can run in our case, or if you're coming towards somebody, it'd be advance and charge. The charge move not only is going to make you vulnerable, open to attack, it's also going to give you a high chance of tripping and falling down. So he's made himself vulnerable in doing that, so we can go after him for that. And one of the attacks that we can choose, of a number of actions that we can choose, is a melee surge. What this is going to do, if it hits, it's going to hit multiple or possibly multiple times. It will also stun the opponent for 1 turn, but we automatically lose 1 turn as well. If we miss with this, though, the opponent will not be stunned. And we will be open for a turn. So we have to keep that in mind if we do it. So it's kind of a high risk, high reward attack. Or we could just do a normal attack. I think we do a melee surge here, as I think it's an important move to do. And it looks like we have managed to hit, but we have a consequence of that hit as well that we'll read in a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and read all the action. So we have launched a flurry of attacks at the bad mother, and we've hit. We need a moment to recover, and so does the bad mother because we stunned him. We have scratched the bad mother's upper left arm. We have scratched his upper left leg, and we have grazed his right leg. So he is recovering. Unfortunately, our shiv has fallen apart, and we've changed our attack to a punch, and he is bleeding. We have to wait because we are recovering from the melee surge that we did, and now we're into the next combat round. And at this point, we have a number of options of what we're going to want to do. Now, we have to keep in mind he is armed with a broadhead arrow, so he could try and stab us with that. I am not armed, so I'm going to have to do what I can to try and avoid damage. So I'm going to go ahead and try and parry his attack. If I succeed with this, I am going to make him vulnerable to attacks so that I can then open up with another melee surge if I want, or some other choice if I choose. So let's go ahead and confirm that. And we have done exactly what I'm looking to do. We have managed to parry his attack, getting him to miss, and he is now exposed to an attack. Now we have a new option open to us. We have lore. This is something that's specifically available to us because of our trapping skill. And this is going to not only make us be a little bit further away from our opponent, it is also going to make our opponent have a number of things that can happen to them. So there's a chance we'll knock them down. Having a fallen down victim or enemy is actually quite good. There is a chance to damage the target. And both you and the... well, that's just a restriction. And it is going to make us vulnerable, though. I think at this point, though, he's vulnerable. Let's just go ahead and do another melee surge here and try and make him pay for the attack that he did. So we confirm. It looks like we managed to pull it off. So we have hit, and we have hit them. We need time to recover. They're going to need time to recover because we stunned them yet again. We managed to batter lower chest with a punch. We whipped the upper left leg with a punch. So we're doing pretty good damage here, and the upper left arm. The Bad Mother tries to launch a flurry of blows of their own, but misses. Now, again, we're going to need to recover. And now, I will point out that getting in combat like this does wear you out quite a bit. And these flurries of blows are not particularly good for that either. So we're going to have to wait yet again. So now we're more or less in the same stage of combat we were before. The opponent could attack us and do damage to us. They're no longer vulnerable, so parrying might be a good call. We can do the lure ability again. It looks like it's specific to where the range is. And as a result, I think parrying is really a good idea, probably the best idea. So again, we got him to miss, and he's again vulnerable to an attack. So we can go with another melee surge. So we've got a good combo going here. He attacks us, we parry, we block his attack, leave him vulnerable, and then we can go after him. Unfortunately, we don't have very good weapons right now, so that's really the problem. We have cut him up a bit with a shiv. We have punched him a few times. Hopefully we can land here again. Okay, so we have managed to hit him again with a flurry of blows. Yet again, making us need time to recover and him needing time to recover. We have hit him in the stomach with a punch. We have hit him in the chest with a punch, and the upper chest specifically. And we have hit him in the right leg with a punch. So again, we're going to have to wait out a turn. And we're more or less right back where we started. So I think a parry is going to be a good call here. And again, it pays off. So we're going to go back with a melee surge, hopefully finishing him off. Okay, so we have managed to hit him yet again. And more or less some of the same results. We have hit him in the right arm. He's in severe pain at this point and is having trouble concentrating, so you'll note that he has other effects going on right now. We've managed to hit him in the upper left arm, and we've hit him in the head with a punch this time. He tried to hit me, but he failed. And his arrow has fallen apart, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to get that back from him, which honestly I really was looking forward to because we do have that ranged ability. So now we're going to wait again. And yet again, he's standing in front of us. He has another arrow, though, so let's go ahead and try and parry him again. Okay. Oh, he headbutt me, though. Dirty fighting there a little bit. So I'm going to need time to recover. That's unfortunate. So we're going to wait. He does try and attack me in the interim while we were recovering from the headbutt. But he missed, so we were very fortunate there. He's now vulnerable to an attack, so we're going to come back and hit him with another melee surge, which it looks like we managed to hit. We have other things that happen, though, in the interim, though. So the Bad Mother tried to run away from us, as the fight is not going his way. But he tripped in the process. We already talked about how running has a high chance of tripping. He's fallen to the ground, but he did manage to at least cover some distance, so he's further away from us than he was before. But I hit him on his way out, and we hit him a few times, so we managed to hit him in the left arm, the right arm, and the left arm with a few punches there. We're going to have to wait, and so did he. At this point, we're now going to need to close with him, though, to be doing any action. So we can charge with him, which is similar to the way run works. It's just you're moving towards rather than away. But it has some of the same downsides. But instead, we can just move and advance just as one space, and this is going to have a much less chance of tripping. There's always a chance of tripping and what have you. So let's just go ahead and advance. We now close the range to 1, which is all we need to attack him. So the Bad Mother used this opportunity to get up from the fallen position. So now he's standing in front of me. Now, he's already attempted to run once. We don't know if he's going to attempt to do it again. If we try and be defensive here, which honestly we don't even have the option to do so, but if we did have that option and he ran, well, then that wouldn't really work for us. If we attack and he attacks us back, well, then we have the threat of possibly being hit here. But as I said, we don't have a defensive action to do. We really only have an attack option to do. So we're going to go ahead and take that attack option. And let's see what happens. So he parried me. He took the defensive action. And it worked for him. So now we're in a bad spot. So I'm going to have to attempt to dodge or parry myself. So I'm going to attempt to do that. But it doesn't work, unfortunately. He hits me, and he has hit me with his arrow, carving into my lower chest with the broadhead arrow. Now coughing up blood. This is bad, and I'm stunned and unable to move for a moment, so I'm going to have to wait. So this means that I have a turn that I'm going to have nothing I can do right now. So I wait. He attacks me, misses, so I've gotten fortunate there. I'm now bleeding, he's now bleeding, and we're not really in a good state because of that one attack that he did to me. It looks like the arrow is probably inside me right now. Stuck in me, so he doesn't have any more. Now he's just pretty much armed with his fists, just like us. So he is vulnerable, though, to an attack. So I am going to open up with another melee surge, hoping to get good damage here. And it looks like we have indeed pulled it off. Let's take a look at what happens, though. So the broadhead arrow has fallen apart. Okay, maybe that already happened. He has now switched to a whiskey bottle. He attempts to run away from us. We have managed to, well, he does run away from us. We managed to hit him, though, on the way out, and we punched him a few more times, one in the upper chest, one in the lower right arm, and one in the left leg. I'm now tired from this protracted fight. He's bleeding, I'm bleeding. I have to wait. He has to wait. And at this point, he's managed to get a little bit away from me, so I'm going to try and charge after him. At this point, we've committed a lot to this fight, so I'm going to try and finish it. I'm now within range of him. We're going to try and parry whatever he's going to do. He could just try and run again. Luring might be a good call because it could cause him to fall down, but we're going to try with the parry here to see if he attacks me. Unfortunately, it didn't work, so he has hit me in the upper right arm with a glass bottle. The glass bottle has broken, though, so now he's back to his punching. And I am, unfortunately, not in the best state right now. I am going to go ahead and try and parry again. And I parried, and he demanded my surrender. So we really didn't get much accomplished in that particular round. So I'm just going to go ahead and punch him at this point. Okay, so he ran from me, but I punched him in the lower stomach while he ran. We're going to go ahead. I could tackle him, which will bring him to the ground. That is risky, though, as if I fail, I'm going to be on the ground regardless. And if I succeed, he falls down. And I don't know if it really ever does any damage. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and just advance on him. Charge might be the best option, though. So let's charge him. Okay. He tried to retreat from me, but it didn't work. I'm going to parry, though, in case he does attack me. He fell back, so we're just going to go ahead and punch him again, as he might try and run. He parried me, so I'm in not the best condition or the best place right now, as I'm vulnerable to an attack. Let's just go ahead and try and punch him again. Okay, so let's see what happened. So I managed to hit him with a punch, hit him in the upper chest. He's now coughing up blood. He's unconscious, which is good. He's fallen to the ground, and he's exposed to an easy attack, and he's passed out from unbearable pain. He did hit me, though, at the same time, and lower right leg with a punch. I'm in minor pain, and some activities are affected. So this guy's on the ground now, and he's more or less out for the count. So let's just go ahead and finish him off with a melee surge, and we've killed him. It took a very long time, and that was really not what we wanted to have happen, especially that arrow to our gut. That's going to hurt, and we're going to have to do something about it fairly soon. Unfortunately, I have no means to clean the wound, as we have no means to boil water. So we're going to have to deal with that in the next video. But in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.